over the next couple of months, we're going to celebrate some holidays. One for mothers, one for fathers, heck, even one for grandparents. And we're going to get things like ties and coffee mugs and pictures and cards. And they're going to say things like the world's greatest mom, dad, grandparent. But are we really the world's greatest at this? Welcome to Walking Through the Word for today. We're in John chapter 10, and we've been looking in verse 7, and we've kind of moved down a little bit, and we're now in verse 11, where Jesus says, I am the good shepherd. But the question is, why is he able to be the good shepherd? Why is he able to say who he is, and is he really who he is? Well, the very next sentence tells us why Jesus is the good shepherd. It is this simply: the good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. See, we can give ourselves titles like world's greatest dad, but we don't necessarily have the ability to back it up. I mean, are the odds that in the history of all the world, I'm the world's greatest dad? Probably not. I'm probably not even in the top 10. Heck, I'm lucky if I'm in the top 7 billion. But Jesus, when he says, I am the good shepherd, he backs it up because he shows what he is going to do. He's going to lay down his life for us. Lay down his life for his sheep. This is what a good shepherd does. A good shepherd is willing to sacrifice his life. It's no mistake that Jesus' lineage goes all the way back to David, who his occupation was a shepherd for so long before he was a king. And he talked about how when a sheep would get stolen, how he would go and he would take it from the lion or from the bear or the wolf and make sure that they did not get his sheep. This is exactly what Jesus says here when he says, I am going to see a wolf and I am going to go and I'm going to make sure that the wolf doesn't take any of my sheep. Well, who's the wolf? Again, the wolf is Satan. The wolf has nothing but a desire to see us destroyed, to see us devoured, if you will. But the good shepherd, as Jesus says, lays down his life. But it's not just that he lays down his life. It's this beautiful sentence that he says right here in verse 17. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life that I may take it up again. You see, Jesus isn't just someone who's willing to sacrifice his life for us. He's willing to give us life. That is what makes him the good shepherd. That's why he is able to use this title. It doesn't come because someone handed him a mug that said, world's bestest, goodest shepherd. It came because Jesus is the good shepherd. He is the one that leads us towards those green pastures that David promised. He is the one that gives us life and life abundantly, as he promised just a couple of sentences ago. This is what he does. Jesus desires nothing more than to see those who follow him be protected, so that they may come eventually into the fold of God. This is as opposed to, Jesus says, the hired hand, someone who has no value, who's in it for the money. And unfortunately, we see a lot of pastors in national news that are in it for the money. They get caught up, they get stuck in doing things for the fame, for the fortune, and we've seen way too many pastors that have fallen as a result of this. God says, those who are truly faithful to me will know me, and they will know my own, and my own will know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. See, Jesus desires that all who know him will be saved. That's his goal. That's what the good shepherd does. That's why he is the doorway. He's to make sure that no one is able to escape, that no one is able to be missed by him, that no one gets taken from him. Instead, he makes sure that all. And he says here even that I have others that are not of this fold. What does he mean by that? Well, that is, remember, this was written primarily to the Jews, and yet Jesus here is implying that Gentiles, people that didn't come from the lineage of Abraham, are going to be saved as well, which that's us, by the way. But Jesus has the authority to do these things because, well, he backs it up. He doesn't just have to have his mug there because someone handed it to him. Jesus really is the good shepherd. Jesus really is our doorway to life and life abundantly.